Good morning, afternoon, or wherever you are. This is Tech for Senior. I'm Ron Brown. I'll be your host today. We have a great show for you today. If you're watching it in the audience today, thank you for coming. If you're over on YouTube, please thank you again. And if you're watching this as a YouTube short, just click the link and it'll take you right to where the show is and you can watch it as well. So hope everybody had a great Easter. This is this is episode 158, season 4. I guess it's, Huey, it's episode 2 in season 4. You did episode 1 last week, didn't you? There you go. There you go. So we're doing, we have we're doing some interesting things today, and let me go over our agenda. We have, of course, I'll be doing the introduction, and Bob is going to do the security news update, followed by Google Chrome hidden reader mode. We'll tell you all about that. Bill James, of course, is going to do his very popular Windows tips. And then a new thought we would try talking about on EV cars and our experience. So I'm a new sort of purchaser, and he's an old-time guy. There we go, the internet's back. And so we're going to have an informal talk on this. And so I thought that'd be a fun thing to try today. And then Bob is going to talk about Google's Android Nearby Share and also Microsoft Designer. We're going to then stop the live stream, and we're going to do Ray's outro, his music. But of course, Ray isn't here. He's actually right this minute under the knife. He's having his cataracts done. So if we could all say, welcome, Ray. Hopefully you're doing okay. Give him a little, hey, Ray, we hope to see you back. I know he'll be playing this on replay. So just let him know that we are thinking about him. And then, of course, we'll have our Q&A, followed by the Premier video service that we have. And I'll be putting the link in the show notes and on the in the chat. And we're going to talk, Dewey's going to talk on the final word on USB 4. Ray Baxter is going to talk on preserving your family home movies. He did that about a year ago. It was a great talk. And Huey Poplick's going to talk on Google Lens. What's Google Lens? How does it work? And he's going to give us an update on Google Lens. That'll occur at hour, and that is in the Premier, our Premier video. The link, of course, is in our Saturday newsletter. Please make sure, if you haven't, to subscribe to our 2 newsletters. We have one that comes out on Tuesday and one that comes out on Saturday. And in that, of course, I put the Premier video link that you can watch when it shows at 1:30. One of the things I do on Saturdays is I do a channel review on my favorite YouTube channel. And this Saturday, I put in one that's been in before, and it was Project Atticus, which is a young couple, Desiree and Jordan, who are traveling the world on their sailboat. And they're in Malta right now, where they'll be for about the next 8 months, where they've just had a young baby, and they do this as a business, because once a week they produce a video about their travels and publish it on YouTube, and of course it goes out to a very wide audience, and and that's how they make a living. So the interesting thing about the video that they just released this week was they did a video. They just got Starlink, and you have no idea, their video really was about the trials and tribulations of all the things that happened trying to get those videos up as they were in the Mediterranean, the Caribbean, and they travel around the world. It is not easy to get internet. And when the videos about all the things that they've done, and then when they went and installed Starlink, and when they connected it, they immediately connected it and got 300 megabits down on a speed. It's just amazing, the story. So if you got the Saturday newsletter and you haven't looked at the video that I highlighted in there, go and play that video. It is truly amazing to see what Starlink and technology does for people who are traveling. I thought it was very interesting. All right, let me introduce everybody today. Huey Popluck, what have you been up to? You had a big show on Sunday.
Yes, we did the Windows SIG for the Sarasota and for the Orlando group. I combined the two the Windows SIG for both of them, and we had a nice group of people, and we had a lot of fun, and it was some interesting discussion. And then it was just the CFCS main meeting right after. It was just a talk. I wasn't going to even be a part of it, but we started talking about some of the stuff with AI, especially with Night. I can't think of the website, but anyway, we started talking about a few things. I showed a few things that I've done, and we had some pretty good discussions about AI.
So. For being Easter, right?
Yes, I was very surprised. Yep.
Yeah, I was surprised that many people showed up. Cool.
And then we had a community dinner right after that, and it was the biggest event we've had all year. And as far as numbers go, we had a good crowd and a great dinner. And I'm in a community where everybody's a volunteer and they all do everything. And it was a great dinner.
Excellent. Excellent. And then, of course, Bob, you've got a busy week. What are you doing on Wednesday?
Something for APCUG, and it has to do all about AI. I actually just sent some homework to Judy Talor that she needs to answer because it's part of the show.
I'm sure she'll be happy with that. Very good. And Bill James, you are on Windows, but you're going to do your Mac talk next. You promised to do your Mac talk next week, right? So
I did, and I will have something of interest, I hope.
So I was telling Bill that our readership doubled the week he talked on Mac. I thought, what is going on here? Like
I don't think I had anything
I don't
to
get
do
it.
with
So
that.
I said to Bill, we got to do another Mac talk next week and see if the same thing happens. That's crazy, right?
I think so. I don't know if I had anything to do with that, but we're going to give it a go.
We'll see what happens. All right.
See what happens.
Yeah. And of course, Mike Ungerman is sitting there smiling as always as he's charging up his car.
It's a rainy day today, Ron.
Oh, is it? There you go. Boy, it sure rained here. It was such a bad Easter. It just howled and it was misery. But I was able to, I got a quick story. I got 1 minute left. I can maybe do this in 2 minutes, right? So anyway, so I'm watching the Masters on Sunday with my wife. Unbelievable, unfreaking believable. Broadcast in 4K. When they're putting, you can see every blade of grass, right? So I taped the thing so that so when we watched it in the evening, when we're having dinner, we can watch it. So we're watching dinner at 6 o'clock, but of course the Masters is finished, but I don't want to know who won. So we're at hole number 15, right? When the final group's going, and Gail says to me, has John Rahm ever won the Masters? And I said, gee, I don't know much about John Rahm. Maybe I'll ask Google. So I asked Google, has John Rahm ever won the Masters? Well, of course, it had already updated it and said, yes, he won the Masters in 2023. And I thought, oh, rats, it gave me the answer. I didn't want to know that I didn't want to know who won, right? So I knew, I didn't tell Gail. I made it look as though, it was exciting right up until the end. And I didn't let her know, but I knew the answer. That darn Google update stuff so fast that really it was a problem. Anyway, Bob, take it away. I don't want to talk all day.
Waterway. Oh, I guess we are ready to do my first part. Hold on.
You're having so much fun. You're just...
Here is the Security News Roundup for the week ending April 7th, 2023. Google Drive rolls back new file limit that was locking some users out. Google is removing the file limit it recently and unexpectedly imposed on Google Drive. In a Twitter thread, the official Drive account stated that the limit was rolled out to preserve system stability and optimize performance. While only a small number of users were affected by the change, Google is now rolling it back. The company also promised it'll do a better job of communicating future changes to its users. Read more at androidauthority.com. A new data extortion email campaign copying ransomware gang techniques. The Avast Threat Labs have identified a new data extortion scam targeting companies. The scam is designed to look like it's coming from a ransomware or data extortion cyber gang and is sent via email to employees of different companies, addressing them by their full name. The senders claim they are from a ransomware group like Silent Ransom or Lockfit. If read quickly, the recipient may believe the email was sent by the Lockbit ransomware group, which is known for the aggressive data extortion methods. Read more on the Avast blog. Tesla employees reportedly shared videos captured by cameras on customers' cars. Some Tesla workers shared sensitive photos and videos captured by the camera on owners' cars between each other for several years, according to Reuters. Former employees told the outlet that colleagues shared their images in group chats and one-on-one communications between 2019 and last year. One such video showed a Tesla driving at high speed before hitting a child on a bike, Reuters reported. Other footage included things like a nude man walking toward a vehicle. We could see them doing laundry and really intimate things. We could see their kids, one of the former employees said. Read more at Engadget.com. Western Digital confirms network security incident. Some systems offline. Western Digital confirmed the network security incident today and that some of the company's systems, including MyCloud Home and MyCloud OS, are down currently. The company detected the network intrusion on March 26, 2023. It discovered that an unauthorized third party gained access to a number of the company's system. Western Digital initiated an investigation and implemented incident response efforts. The investigation is in its early stages, according to the company, but leading outside security and forensic experts are assisting the company in the investigation. Read more at ghacks.net. IRS certified free filing service caught spreading malware. A recent issue with the free filing service eFile.com, authorized and tactically endorsed by the IRS, has added a whole new layer to stress to filling your taxes. Security researchers found a malicious JavaScript file spreading malware on the site itself. The JavaScript file shows a dummy error page and instructs users to download a browser update, which in fact is a load of malware, specifically a Windows-based botnet program. I guess you get what you pay for, even though the free version of Avast would have blocked this JavaScript. Read the whole story at PCWorld.com. Brace yourself for a tidal wave of ChatGPT email scams. There's an experiment being run by undergraduate computer science students everywhere. Ask ChatGPT to generate phishing emails and test whether these are better at persuading victims to respond or click on the link than the usual spam. It's an interesting experiment, and the results are likely to vary wildly based on the details of the experiment. The AI chatbots will never sleep and will always be adapting along their path to their objectives. And new mechanisms from ChatGPT plugins to LangChain will enable composition of AI with thousands of API-based cloud services and open source tools, allowing LLMs to interact with the internet as humans do. Defense can and will eventually catch up, but before it does, our signal-to-noise ratio is going to drop dramatically. Read more at wired.com. FBI cracks down on Genesis Market. 119 arrested in cybercrime crackdown. A coordinated international law enforcement operation has dismantled Genesis Market, an illegal online marketplace that specialized in the sale of stolen credentials associated with email, bank accounts, and social media platforms. Coinciding with the infrastructure seizure, the major crackdown, which involved authorities from 117 countries, culminated in 119 arrests and 208 property searches in 13 nations. However, the .onion mirror of the market appears to be still up and running. The unprecedented law enforcement exercise has been codenamed Operation Cookie Monster. Read more at thehackernews.com. This week's must-see on my YouTube channel. 8 reasons why you should be using a VPN in addition to your antivirus and firewall. Please watch my video on this topic at the YouTube link listed. Did you know? Did you know Q is the only letter that doesn't appear in any U.S. state name? The mobile phone throwing world championships are held in Finland. A recent winner said he prepared for this event by mainly drinking. The Vatican's bank is the only one in existence that allows ATM users to perform transactions in Latin. Develop enough courage so that you can stand up for yourself, and then stand up for somebody else. Thanks to Maya Angelou. I just thought you might want to know. And that wraps up my security news roundup for this week. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye. Did you know that the Chrome browser has a reader mode? But if you want to use it, you have to turn it on. Let me show you how to do that, and then let's see the effects of using that reader mode. Let's start by opening a new tab, and then type the following in the address bar. Hit the Enter button. Once this opens, you want to type the following in the search bar. And once you type reader mode in the search bar, it opens it up in the experimental menu. And by default, that's what it's set to, default. Well, we want to use it, so let's enable it, turn it on. As soon as you do that, you need to relaunch the browser. So that's next, relaunch. Now we no longer need this tab. We've accomplished our task. The reader mode is now on. Let's close this tab. That puts us back to the article that we had before, but you'll notice there's now a new icon up next to the address of this website. And that is what the reader mode icon looks like. So if we want to use it to use reader mode on this website, select it, just click on it, and watch what happens. Oh, now you have something that you can actually read. Notice all of the ads are gone on the side. all you've got is just the information that you came here to see in the first place. You'll also notice that up on top there's a little A. Well, that's for adjustments. So let's select it. And from here, there's a couple of things you can do. We right now are set on a white or light background, but you can change that. That makes it a nice and easy background. You can also go into dark mode if that's what you prefer. You've got another adjustment that you can use, and that's going from small all the way up to large. Make things easier on your eyes, and you can see that you can really go to very large. Once you've got it set the way you want it, close this little box and enjoy the reader mode in Google's Chrome. Stay safe, stay secure. I hope that helps. Bye.
Thanks, Bob. I don't, the reader mode's been around for a while. I'm just not sure why it never made it to the final version of Chrome. You'd think that it would be one of the things that would be regular in the regular version, eh?
I don't know why, not Google.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a really, odd. Anyway, thanks. That's really good information. I'm going to make sure I turn that on. That's that for sure. And if you turn that on, it'll also be on in your Chromebook too, eh?
Yeah, it works in your browser.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter where. It'll work on your phone. It'll work on your computer. Got a Mac. If you're using Chrome, it's going to be there. One thing
Excellent.
to remember, this is experimental, and experimentals can make it to the final. Oh, they may not.
Oh, the other thing is, Bob, can you print from that? Is there a print menu on the reader mode?
No, but Control P would print.
Would print
I
it?
haven't tried it. I don't know. Okay.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, that's great. Thanks so much. Now we're going to go and we're going to have some Windows tips. Bill, are you going to tell us some great things we can do with our Windows version? Oh, that's a nice picture.
That's the Bing wallpaper. All right. We're going to talk about 6 Windows tips that I found. Some of these you're probably aware of, and some of them you may not be, but we'll get started here. Keyboard shortcuts. Windows has a number of keyboard shortcuts that can save you time and make it easier to navigate your computer. Some useful shortcuts includes Windows plus D to minimize all open windows, Windows plus L to lock your computer, and Windows plus I to access your settings. You also can do custom keyboard shortcuts. Windows allows you to create custom keyboard shortcuts for any application or folder on your computer. So to do this, you want to right-click on the application or folder and select Properties, and then click on the Shortcut tab. Create your shortcut by typing in a letter of your choosing. A shortcut will be created automatically using that letter. For instance, if I wanted to make a shortcut for Google Chrome, I could type in a G, and then the shortcut would be Control-Alt plus G. And if you have shortcuts on your desktop that you want to be able to access those using a keyboard application, just right-click on it and then click on the Shortcut tab. In Windows 11, it's a little bit more convoluted. So you can click on all apps on the Start menu and then click on More, select the right click on the application or folder, and then click on the file location. And File Explorer opens, click on the 3 dots, select Properties, and then click on the Shortcut tab. And again, create your shortcut by typing in any letter of your choosing, and the shortcut will be created automatically using that letter. Clipboard history. Windows has a built-in clipboard history feature that allows you to access your clipboard history and paste any previously copied item. Windows key plus V will do the trick. God mode. Enabling God mode will give you access to a wide range of advanced settings and features that are not normally available in Windows. To enable it, simply create a new folder and rename it to God mode dot and this long string of letters and numbers. You need to type that as exactly as displayed, including the dot between God mode and the bracket. And here's a little short video that will give you
Here's a computer hack I bet you didn't know. You're going to create a new folder on your desktop. And you're going to rename the folder to this. Now you have an icon that looks like this. Double click that, and you've got access to literally every setting within Windows. This is called God mode.
and you'll be surprised what you can do, but I do caution you in using this. This is almost the equivalent of using the registry. So make sure that when you are playing around with that, that you have pad and paper to make a step-by-step scheme of what you did when you were using it, because you can get yourself into trouble. But it will give you a wide variety of settings that you can do using that feature. In Windows, you can also print a document to PDF from any application thanks to the built-in print to PDF feature. You no longer have to use the old XPS printer or install a third-party application. To get started, open the document you want to print to a PDF file. Find and open the print dialog box in the application. Where this is located will vary by program, but you can usually go to File, Print, and just click the printer icon. Windows Print to PDF feature allows you to save any document or web page as a PDF file. That concludes our Windows tips for this segment. Ron, back to you.
Well done, Bill. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. Lots of good information. And we'll look forward to your Mac talk next week, right?
Right. Thank you.
All right. So this brings us into a section now where we've never done this before. This is a new idea that we're going to try out. And this is where we normally have pre-recorded segments that are very formal. But I wanted to talk to Mike and I about our EV car experience. And I said, well, to Mike, why don't we just wing it? Why don't we just do a little talk, an informal talk, rather than making a specific video? And I can talk a little bit about our experiences and maybe how we came about on this journey. So Mike, if you don't mind, I'm going to go first. All right. And I'm going to actually, hold on a sec. I got to get my watch on here and get the timer going, because you know me, I could talk forever and I've got to limit myself to 7 minutes. So my watch should go off. If I blab on further than 7 minutes, please somebody grab me and shake me or something, and we will we'll have and I'll stop. So let me just talk a little bit about the journey. As you know, that I bought the car behind me, which is a RAV4 hybrid, and I'll talk a little bit about that. And I guess one of the problems is if you're a senior, why do you want a new car, and why do you want to spend a lot of money on something that, hey, do you really need that? And I guess that's a question that everyone has to ask themselves. And in our particular situation, I have, of course, my big diesel truck I've had for 20 years that, you know, is great. It sits in my garage. I drive it about once a month, but it's big and it's great on the highway, but it doesn't do well. So we had, so 5 years ago, my best friend died, and he gave me his Patriot Jeep Patriot, which was a great little car to run around in. But there are a lot of things wrong with it. And it's great to go to Costco and for Gail to go to church. But if we wanted to take it out on the highway, or we wanted particularly to go to Victoria for some more medical tests if we ever needed any, it's just not very reliable. So I really wanted to, rather than be in crisis mode, I wanted to upgrade the car to something that wasn't a big problem like the Jeep is now. But it didn't cost me anything, so it's been great transportation, but I need something that's really reliable. So we decided to look at cars, and I want to thank Mike Ungerman for helping me go down this journey, because I bought a car for 20 years, and I was always thought, you go and you buy a used car that's 3 years old because someone else has depreciated it, and that's where you get your best deal. And if that is what you think, then you haven't bought a car in the last 5 years. It's all changed, right, Mike? That is not anything like the world is in reality right now. And Mike also had talked about the Car Edge, which is on his playlist on our Saturday newsletter. And I would encourage you to look at that. And I watch the Car Edge almost every day now, and it upgrades me on, what's really happening in the car industry, which is quite interesting. And what you will soon find, that if you go to buy a car, at least it was in the last year when we started looking, is that used cars are more expensive than new cars. Yes, that's true. It's true. In fact, my RAV4, the one that you see behind me, cost me $35,000, but the dealer sold a 2022 for $50,000, $15,000 more the day I bought this, and I got it delivered. So it is true that used cars now are really hard to come by, and they're very expensive. So we quickly decided in our journey that we were going to buy a new car. Now, when I was out washing my car this last week on our little crescent that we live in, there's 2 Teslas that are next to us here, and 2 other EV cars. And as all the neighborhood came by to see the new car, of course, 3 of the people said that their cars were coming this week as well. So clearly, and we're all seniors, so clearly there's a lot of interest in EV cars. So that would be something that you might want to think about. The other thing about keeping an older car now, which is really interesting, is that the used car fleet in the United States and Canada is now up to 12.2 years. It has never been this old. Like the used car fleet out there is really old, which means there's incredible pressure to fix these things. And we haven't seen that here, but in the Toronto area, if your radiator goes or you have an alternator problem, you take it in, it goes, and it's a month before they can see it. There aren't enough mechanics or garages to fix these vehicles. And so this is a constant thing, that as there's not enough pilots, as there's not enough doctors, you go on and on and on. It's the same problem getting old cars fixed. At least it is in certain parts. So yeah, it's another issue that we didn't want to get into, because the advice that I can give everybody is plan it. If you wait until you're in a crisis mode and your car doesn't work and you have to buy a new one, well, then you just may be in some problems, because my advice would be to plan it. And we decided to, first thing we did is we went and we decided to go and look at different dealers, and we spent 6 months going to different dealers in the area that we live, about 15 dealers. Gail and I go out for lunch every Friday, and in the afternoon, we would go look at dealerships. And there were certainly 75% of them I would never want to do business with. In fact, some of them, they would have the salesman would come out and give you his card, and the last guy's name would be crossed off, and he'd write his over it, and they were there, and the dealerships didn't have any cars, because of course that you have to order all the new cars now, which was interesting. So we reviewed and made our decision on Toyota because we really liked the dealership. And then we had to decide whether we were going to go electric or not electric. Well, we decided to go electric. We're going to do a gas hybrid. Now, many of you may or may not know, Mike's going to talk about a plug-in hybrid. I don't have a plug-in hybrid. I have a gas hybrid. And the difference being is in my car with the gas hybrid, it was only $2,000 more than a regular car, right? It very little difference in price. And Honda, you'll find with gas hybrids, there's a very little difference in price and a lot more in, because the battery is only the size of the rear seat. It sits under the rear seat, whereas the battery in Mike's car is big, right? So because it's smaller, it's a lot cheaper. And so there's only about a $2,000 difference in price. So that's one of the reasons why we chose our gas hybrid. Now, Mike's going to talk to you about his plug-in hybrid, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen, or I guess I'll just take off my spotlight. You can go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Okay, I believe I need to spotlight myself, so give me.
No, if are you going to share your screen?
I'll share my screen. Yeah.
If you share your screen, you don't need to put the spotlight.
Don't have to do that. Okay, so we'll share screen. And I'm okay, I'm sure. Let's see, here we go, share screen. Well, unlike Ron, I think with organized notes. So I prepared this as if I was doing a presentation, but it gives me some talking points. And for those of you that like to read text, you can read what I'm about to say or read ahead as you wish. Many of you know that I ran an EV, or not an EV series, a rooftop solar photovoltaic series in Tech for Seniors last year. We had 2 phases put in, one in 2017, one in 2019. And I had a 12-year-old, I had a 5-year-old 2012 Hyundai Tucson. It had 40,000 miles on it. So I could have kept it as a used car, but I was in the market, hadn't really decided what I wanted. There was an international auto show here in Orlando in the fall of 2017. And retroactively, I probably could say I made the mistake of going by the Kia display and saw their brand new, not yet in the marketplace, Kia Niro plug-in hybrid, and talked to their sales reps, saw their video presentations, and it just, the light bulb went on. And I said, you know, I've got a solar system on my roof. I could charge that plug-in hybrid for my solar production on sunny days, why I have a smile on sunny days, and essentially drive the first 26 miles of any trip free. So I said, okay, time to jump in. I did kind of what Ron did, except I was focused on Kia. And I did 2 months of research to actually find a Kia dealership that was willing to order a Kia Niro PHEV because they weren't in stock. And then I wanted at that time to be able to use my credit union's car buying program and try to get a discount, which you could get then. These days it's MSRP or MSRP plus something. So in December of 2017, I was able to place my order. They found the car. It was actually on a ship en route to the US. And in February, actually Valentine's Day of 2018, you can see here's the car that I got, Kia Niro PHEV, silver with a light silver interior. And it came with a charging cable, level 1 charging cable, which you can see I've got plugged in right there. I decided that I really wanted to have an external outlet on my wall, and I also wanted to have that outlet support the level 2 chargers. So I had an electrician come to our house and install these side-by-side outlets on a single circuit, or it's double circuit. Comes out 220 and it's split off 110 for the 110. And here's my level 1 charger plugged in, and this is where the level 2 charger would plug in. And unfortunately, I have to park the Kia outside because we have a 2-car garage. My wife says, no, you're not gonna take my place. We've got a nice van, and I've got a classic Corvette in the other slot. So she stayed outside, but it's weathered pretty well. So I can fully recharge my Kia's battery, getting about 26 miles of EV range. and that's the spec with the level 2 charger. And it can charge the car in about 2 hours. Level 1 with their standard charger that comes with the car is 9 hours. So typically I wait for a nice sunny day, about 10 in the morning, and by noon it's fully charged if it was fully empty. When I'm driving it, it's a little bit different driving technique for a PHEV as opposed to a hybrid. But what happens essentially is you start out in the EV mode and you drive it for the first 26 miles in EV mode. If your AC is on for cooling in the summer months, the maximum range is automatically reduced to 24 miles. I've actually seen that go down to 23 on really hot days. And then when the battery shows 0 miles of range remaining, the car automatically switches to hybrid mode and runs just like Ron's does in his hybrid mode. Functions as a regular Kia Niro. And on average, I do get between 50 and 55 miles per gallon in hybrid mode. So it's very efficient. While I'm in the EV mode, if I really need acceleration, I just step on the gas and it significantly increases speed. And there's a point where the engine will cut in to augment the acceleration. And then when I'm finished accelerating, like to pass a car, I just let up on the pedal and it reverts to EV mode as long as there's power left in the battery. If I wish, I can actually push a button and force hybrid at any time, even from starting out. There's also a sport mode on the transmission. And Ron, I think you've got a sport mode too that you can select. And I found out with trial and error that what this does is it changes the gear ratios and also changes the way the engine interfaces with the transaxle and the gearing so that I can get a lot of torque in the sport mode. So that's great for cutting across traffic if I have to make a left turn across traffic, or if I'm also merging on an expressway and I want to get up to speed really quick. And then if I want to feel sporty, I can actually manually go through all 6 gears. And it's good for mountain driving, which I've done when I was headed up to Tennessee, especially on long grades, both climbing and decelerating. Typically on a long distance trip, I'll start out in EV mode until I get to an expressway. I'll manually select the hybrid mode while cruising to the exit on the long distance, and then I'll manually select EV mode again when I'm driving on local driving. I do bring a level 1 charger with me on trips and can use it at my destination if I can get to a friend or a motel or something like that, 110, 120 outlet. Otherwise, I remain in EV mode until the car automatically selects the hybrid mode when remaining EV range gets to 0, as I've stated, and stay in that mode for the return trip. I have not used commercial charging with this car, although I could. Since the pandemic, since I bought the car, I've only put 14,000 miles on it. And for that reason, the demands on the gasoline engine are much, much less. And what I'll do is make sure the gasoline engine runs at least once on each short trip by doing half of it in EV and half of it in HEV or hybrid mode. And as far as maintenance goes, because of the low mileage in the gasoline engine, I really change oil only once a year to keep the warranty valid. I could probably go much longer because it uses synthetic oil. And there is no oil or lubrication that's involved with the electric components. It's only for the gas components. I am considering the purchase or lease of a Fisk repair. And as Ron said, we have a lot of different reasons why we want to get a new car. Don't need one, but it's desirable. It's a full EV. It will be assembled in the US in 2024. It's anticipated to have battery components that meet the new tax incentives for a $7,500 tax credit. I won't make my final decision until sometime in 2024. You'll probably hear me talking about it as we get closer. And for now, I think I have what I would say is the best of both worlds with gasoline powered transport for my short trips, gasoline engine for longer trips without range anxiety, the thought that I have to find some place to charge, which will go into that Fisker decision. And the big positive is being able to charge my car battery from our solar system on sunny days, keep smiling, and drive the first 26 miles for free. And here you go, Mike.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. That's great. Just so everyone understands, I have a gas hybrid. Mike has a plug-in hybrid. I actually have ordered a plug-in hybrid, and but the plug-in hybrid is $15,000 more. I will be getting, there is $7,000 of tax incentives I get for that, which you do not get on a gas hybrid. I don't know, Mike, if that's the same in the United States, but gas hybrid, you don't get any tax incentive. So that 15,000 will slightly be offset by that $7,000. And hopefully I've got some equity in the thing because, of course, the big demand. We'll see what happens and see what the negotiating position is on that. So anyway, Bob, are you ready to roll? Unmute yourself.
I'm ready to go.
Okay, take her away.
Something new from Google. It's called Better Together Android to PC Nearby Sharing app. Make sure that you download this only from Google. Wireless sharing with your PC made easy. Send and receive photos, documents, and more between nearby Android devices and your Windows PC. Start by downloading Nearby Share Beta for Windows. Agree to Google's terms of service and install the app. Once that's done, start enjoying the ability to share directly from your phone to your computer and much more. But how you share and with whom you share is fully within your control. Once you've installed the app, the next thing is to go to your phone and pick out something you want to share. Let me show you how that's done. So as you can see, I have both Nearby Share Beta from Google open, and it's waiting to receive. I also have my Pixel 6 open, so let's send something from the Pixel 6 over to the PC. Let's open up Photos. There's a nice one. Select the photo and select Share. And right here you have Nearby Share. Select it. And I have two choices. Both of them are marked as a laptop. One of them is and the other one isn't. I'll fix that the next time I go into the settings. Let's select the device. Let's mark it as done. And as you see here, it's been received. I can now open it. You have to admit that this picture looks a heck of a lot nicer than the picture we saw on the phone. Close this back out, and there's the picture on the phone. I prefer the one that I just received on my desktop, and I can now work with that picture on the desktop. That goes for any file, and you not only can send it to the devices that you have it paired with, you can also send and receive from contacts. A nice little tool just released by Google, kind of marries your Android phone to your PC. Stay safe, stay secure, have some fun. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. Microsoft Designer. Brand new from Microsoft and currently only available by invitation. Follow the link in the video notes to join the wait list. I finally got my notice this morning, so let's take a quick look at Microsoft Designer. As Microsoft states, it's never been easier to approach a blank canvas. Start with a description or a simple idea, then watch your content transform and choose your favorite design. Create a one-of-a-kind image for your designs. Add a description of the image you'd like to create, and the program or app will generate it in seconds as you can see here from the prompts and the designs it creates. It's that simple, and get the inspiration you're looking for. Just add or remove content to get ideas for an attention-grabbing design. And there's more. Designer makes your content stand out with over 100 million images and videos for high-quality visuals. Motion graphics to make your designs more engaging. Direct publishing to your social or send to your phone for a quick share. As I said in the beginning, right now you need to join the wait list to gain access. Since I currently have access, next we're going to take a look at Microsoft Designer. So this is what the Designer looks like once you've signed in after you've gotten your invitation. And I'm going to fill in the request for the design that I want. And I'm going to use the same prompt that I did in yesterday's demo of Adobe's Firefly. Let's see what this will produce. Seniors seeking help from the folks at Tech for Seniors. Let's hit the generate and see what we get. Now you've got some options. You can add an image. You can skip and start from a blank canvas. And here is what it came up with. I think this is a pretty nice one. And I'm actually going to save this image and see if I can't use it somewhere. And that is just a quick look. There's a lot more to Microsoft's brand new Designer, and I need to do some learning, but I figured it was only fair to share this as soon as it was available. So if you're interested, sign up, get on the waiting list, get your invitation, and start having some fun. Stay safe, stay secure. I'll see you again soon. Thanks, and bye-bye.
Thanks, Bob. So the interesting part about that is, of course, they're trying to compete with Canva. But Bob, I will tell you that in looking at that video, those templates are all in Canva. In fact, I did that experiment in Canva and got pretty much the same response, which is interesting. So I don't know where they're getting their templates from. Yeah.
All I know is I had no problems using this product. I, for some reason, just can't get my hands around Canva.
All right.
So
it's interesting. So it'll be it's interesting, but all good products. All right. We should get on with our music. I know Ray's probably watching us now and think, come on, Ron, get going. So I want to say goodbye to everybody over on our YouTube feed. Thank you for coming. We'll see you again in about a week's time. If you want to pop over into our Zoom meeting, we'd be happy to have you, and you can participate in the Q&A. So we'll see you next week, and I'm going to stop the live feed, and then I'm going to share my screen, and we'll get on with see what Ray has for us today.
Good morning, Tech for Senior. Sorry I can't be with you in person this morning, but right about now I'm having cataract surgery. But that's not going to stop me from doing the music outro today. And a big focus on Linda Ronstadt, one of the most successful female singers of all time. Linda Ronstadt is an American singer and songwriter who became one of the most popular and successful female artists of the 1970s and 1980s. Her career spanned over 4 decades, during which she released over 30 studio albums, sold more than 50 million records worldwide, and won numerous awards and accolades for her contributions to the music industry. Born on July 15, 1946 in Tucson, Arizona, Linda Ronstadt grew up in a musical family. Her father played guitar and sang Mexican folk songs, while her mother was a homemaker who encouraged her children's musical pursuits. Linda started singing at a young age and was soon performing with her siblings in a family band. Linda's breakthrough as a solo artist came in 1974 with her album, Heart Like a Wheel. The album was a critical and commercial success, reaching #1 on the Billboard 200 chart and spawning several hit singles, including You're No Good and When Will I Be Loved. The album also earned Linda her first Grammy Award for Best Country Vocal Performance Female. Following the success of Heart Like a Wheel, Linda continued to release hit albums and singles. She experimented with different genres of music, including rock, pop, country, and folk, and collaborated with a wide range of musicians, including Emmylou Harris, Dolly Parton, and Aaron Neville. One of Linda's most successful collaborations was with the Eagles, a rock band from California. She worked with them on their hit song Desperado and later recorded her own version of the song, which became a classic. Throughout her career, Linda Ronstadt was known for her powerful voice, her ability to interpret a wide range of songs, and her commitment to social and political activism. She used her platform to speak out on issues such as women's rights, the environment, and immigration reform. Despite her success, Linda faced several challenges throughout her career. She struggled with stage fright and was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2013, which forced her to retire from singing. In recognition of her contributions to the music industry, Linda has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Country Music Hall of Fame, and the Latin Recording Academy's Hall of Fame. She has also received numerous awards and honors, including 11 Grammy Awards and an Emmy Award with the National Medal of Arts. Now, while ChatGPT provided the above paragraphs, here are some key aspects to Linda Ronstadt's career and life that I believe should have been included. There is no mention of the Stone Ponies, where she was the lead singer of this band, along with two male singers, that had a hit song, Different Drum, which reached #13 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in September 1967. There is no mention of her relationship with the governor of California and Democratic presidential candidate Jerry Brown in the mid-1970s. Today's video clip is from a concert in Offenbach, Germany in 1976. The song, It Doesn't Matter Anymore, was written by Paul Anka, first recorded by Buddy Holly, and now with a slightly different arrangement, impeccably performed by Linda Ronstadt.
All right, let me just get that up and we will share the screen. Well, thank you, Ray. Hopefully your surgery went fine. We enjoyed your music selection. We hope to see you back next week.
We'll keep an eye out for him.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Huey. Well, I guess that's another episode, eh? It's top of the hour.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, that's a wrap. At top of the hour, we'll see everybody in another week. But of course, we're going to start the Q&A now. If you have any questions for us, please put your hand up. We also have our chat open, and not much chat today. We have we'll be seeing everybody those of you who want to watch on this Thursday, we'll be having our show on Thursday, and for sure another great show next week, and Bill will be talking on some Apple products, Apple tips, I guess we'll call it. So if you do have any questions, anything about cars you want to know about, anything, just put your hand up, and we have a group of experts here that are happy to help answer any questions. Huey, you've got a question.
Yeah, kind of a request. I don't know if whoever it was sent me probably a private chat note. I think it was Thursday. No, it couldn't have been Thursday. It had to have been last Monday. I kind of glanced over. I saw it. I didn't read it and I didn't save it. We don't have a copy of it. I don't even know who left the message. If it was you, please contact me and let me know. I'm not avoiding you. I just don't know who you are and all the information that was in the message. So please get back with me.
Fortunately, when we save the chat, private messages aren't part of what gets saved.
Yeah, and we haven't been saving the chat automatically on the show anyway. I usually I'll try, if there's something in there, I'll usually try to save it locally to my system, and I just didn't do it. I was a little busy. It was the one that I was host, and so but yeah, the chat is interesting, and anyone can save it. All you have to do is go down at the bottom of the chat. There's 3 little dots there. When you click them, the top one will be save chat, and it'll save it on your system.
Jim or Chris, who's asking the question? I don't know.
No, just, can I show you something new in Google Photos?
Yeah, I was hoping you would. Let me just make you co-host here.
Well, I don't know. He's going to do it.
I can make you co-host. There you go. Oh,
Just, go into speaker view. How you can frame a single picture like this. I'm not sure how long it's been around. I don't think very long, but I just noticed it. So it's using the collage. I did do a video and taught a couple months ago about the new collage feature that has these artistic effects that you can put on a collage. What's new is that you can make a collage with just one picture. So watch this. You have to start with the create collage command, which you find under library and utilities, and scroll down to create new collage. Then you pick a photo, any photo. I'll get this one of Jim and me and create. So it says select up to 6 photos, but I'm selecting just one and create. And now I can use any of these artwork frames.
oh yeah, it's cool.
And I can even, adjust there. That's better. Or if I want to make it of Jim, I can adjust. I'm just using my 2 fingers on the screen and pinch and zoom and twist around. And there's all these different, that's just really fun. And some of them are even totally free. The ones with that multicolored 1 in the corner means you have to be a Google One subscriber there.
Oh,
I like
really?
that
Oh,
one.
that's how they're doing it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like that one. I'll tap save. And so now I have that framed picture in my Google Photos. The other thing that it doesn't do, I can't see how to do horizontal. It's only vertical. So it's meant for phones.
Phones, right? Well,
But
it's
I
probably
just-
not available. It's probably not available on a PC, right?
Correct.
Right.
It's just a mobile thing. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Very interesting.
So there you go. You saw it first here on Tech for Seniors.
Thanks a lot. Greg, unmute yourself.
Chris, Google Photos has a deal where you could frame it. I used to frame some of my stuff, multiple and triple frames, maybe 5-6 years ago. And I guess with the updates, they've kind of stopped that.
Are you sure you're not talking about Picasso? Picasso had a frame option.
That could be. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, if it was a long time ago, that was Picasso. It did have a frame option, but even it didn't have these fun colors, artistic.
And it was only for computers.
And that was only for computers. Yeah.
Yeah, but in my Google Photos, it's still saved there.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. Because it's saved in your Google account.
Yeah, okay.
Picasso was by Google. So
anyway, you guys
if
do
you
a great
use
job.
Picasso web albums, now if you just left them in Picasso, that was on your computer, period.
And you'd have
Yeah, you guys do a great job. Thanks.
Thanks.
My hand is up, even if you can't see it.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm used to you always being on my right beside me there on the screen. I never look at your hand.
I do have a hand up.
Go ahead.
Chris, can you tell me why on the phone you can only do 6 pictures in a collage, but if you're on your computer, you can do up to 9 in Google Photos itself?
I never noticed that.
Yep.
I'll have to go look. I never
Unfortunately, if you're doing it on your computer and on the web, where you can get up to 9 in there, none of the other features are available. That's only available on the phone.
Right. All the really fun stuff is only available on the phones these days.
Correct. Where for me, it's the hardest to do.
Yeah. Although, Chromebook is the best of both
Chromebook
worlds.
is an option, but my Chromebook stopped being supported back in June of last year. So, and I haven't
buy a
bought
new
a
one.
replacement.
Buy a
No. Things have changed in my house, so I'm not out looking for new toys.
Uh,
I've got a proposition for everybody. If we all applause for that, maybe she'd come on the show in a couple of weeks and do an updated Google Photos.
We got to go now.
Newton.
Let's give her a big ring. Let's give her a big clap, and then I'll have a private conversation with her. I'll send her an email and see if she'll come on the show and maybe do an updated Google Photos talk for us. I'm sure.
Oh,
she
you
would.
know how hard it is to get her to talk about Google.
There we go.
Although I have a really special trip on the iPhone Apple Photos too, so maybe we'll have to
We'll wait.
make it.
We'll wait and see how that goes. I want to thank Murray for recommending the casters on the bottom of the chair last week or 2 weeks ago. I got those as he suggested on the and put them on the bottom of my chair, and wow, does it move around easy now. Good
We
one.
have them. We have them
Yeah.
here on our chairs.
Yeah, good one.
She didn't like it upstairs though. Didn't work in her rug carpet.
My floor isn't quite level, and if I got them, I'd roll into the desk all the time.
Yeah.
Well, I find that one thing I have to do, especially with the computer chairs, is I have to get those solid plastic things that for computer chairs, so they roll around, because they don't roll
Right.
around so easily on the carpet.
Right. And Neil, go ahead.
Yeah, I have one comment I saw when Bill James was showing us the God mode. And I have an older version of Office, Word 2016. And I had an issue when I was editing hyperlinks in a Word document that it would crash. And one of the internet searches that I came up with says, remove God mode from your desktop. And for me, that was the cure for my hyperlink crash. And that's some weird little thing you would never associate.
Interesting. Thank you.
Thanks for the update, Neil. I think it's something I'm going to leave to Bill. Bill's a lot smarter than I am. I think I'm going to just do my plain old Windows. I think that's getting a bit, anyway. Any questions? Are we finished for the day? I sent the Premiere link in the chat, so you should all have that. That will be starting at 1/2 the hour. If there's no more questions, then we will see everybody either this Thursday and watch for the newsletter tomorrow, and I'll be outlining what our topics will be for Thursday. And then, or we'll see you back next Monday for another great show.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for joining.
All right.
everybody.
So thanks for coming, everyone. And we will see you in a week's time. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.